Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at something slightly different, and this is the ESA Pavilion Type Attack Drone RA, and the RA stands for Restricted Area. So this is a small little ship that we cannot fly, we cannot remote control. When you spawn it in, it's simply going to turn and start attacking you. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 313 small blocks, using none of the DLC packs and no mods. And we can see right there in the description, it says it will kill all who stands before it, so be careful. So we'll give this a thumbs up, we'll move all the way around to the very front here. My character can bugger off there we go. Then we'll have a quick look around the outside, we'll unlock it and see how it goes. So at the very front here, this is what we get. We've got a camera front and center, so we can see the fear in your eyes as it floats towards you. Just below that, we got ourselves a lone Gatling gun connected onto a single cargo container to store ammunition inside it. And as we were to move around the side here, what we're going to see is some white, yellow and dark grey blocks that go all the way around this drone, as well as the spotlights on the side. We've got 4 of them to give it a more menacing look at night. Just above that, we got 2 rocket launchers on both sides to make sure you can blast a nice hole through your ship or through your base walls that you're trying to cower behind. And as you can see, we've got atmospheric thrusters. They're the only form of thrust that appear on this ship. If we were to come all the way around and over to here, this is some small bits of decoration inside here. We've got some batteries to power it. Now as we were to move all the way around over to here, we've got some access points for our nuclear reactor to give it some more additional power. And as we were to move all the way around onto the very side, we've got some green blinking lights on this side with red blinking lights on the opposite, so we can tell which direction it's going. If we were to move all the way around to the very back here, this is what we get. We see the backs of our atmospheric thrusters, the backs of our rocket launchers, a few more batteries with one with a rotor head sitting on it, as well as some sound blocks to give it a ominous sound. If we were to move up and above this thing, we're not going to see too much else. We've got an antenna to make sure we can always see it. Another reactor sitting right there. There is a red light on the opposite side. And this is what it looks like when we look down on it. If we were to come down and underneath this thing, past our atmospheric thrusters, there's the cargo container for our Gatling gun. There's our batteries, all our atmospheric thrusters. And that's what it looks like when we look at it from underneath. So there we go with that. Through the gap of the landing gear that's keeping it clamped down and preventing it from flying off and shooting. And that is it for a very brief look at the outside of the Pavilion attack drone. It does look great with how it's all been set up, but let's see how it handles being unlocked from the landing gear. So let's go and get rid of that, and grabbing hold of my character, let's get rid of that block. Where is it gone? There we go, it's now going to start to track me in order to shoot me with the Gatling gun. So you can see there it's just going to float away. It might be a little bit bugged because it was connected onto the landing gear, but it should try and figure it out. I think it's now figured out where I am, and it should start to open fire at any moment. Nope, it's just going to hover around, so we're going to need to spawn in a brand new one to make sure it's working properly. So there we go with that. Instantly going to pivot around and start to fly around. It should start to open fire with his Gatling guns once it's got a good sight. There we go. It's not too accurate, which I really like. It's going to strafe side to side when it tries to find you, which is really nice when you're on the foot because it does give you a chance to survive. So you can see there I am just standing still and it's struggling to hit me. It's shooting all the way around me, so it really wants to hit in this direction. In fact, it seems to be actively avoiding, but we can see the red light from the spotlight, which will get very, very menacing at night. There we go, look at that. Now it's going to shoot. So it's not too much of a threat while we're on the foot. Is when we get into a vehicle, is it going to be more of an issue? So just coming into here and finding a nice land vehicle that's sort of smallish. Right, so we just dump in this land vehicle. There we go. The Cuda M2. Make sure we're in the right seat. And there we go. We can see it's just blasting straight into this. I don't even know what's happening. It's just shooting the Gatling gun right into there. And as you can see, it is a hell of a lot more of a threat when we're in a vehicle. Also find a small ship just to float around in. Here we go. The Dex Fighter will do just nicely. And we'll go and drop that in like so. We're trying to fly this thing around. We've lost quite a few of the ship already because it has spawned in between me and the drone. You can see there, it is tracking quite nicely around. So if you are moving fast, you do stand a chance. They're not completely overpowered. And it is just going to follow you around with that Gatling gun and try and do its best to blast you. So there we go, just go and sit still for the moment. And there we go, just going to start blasting through all of that. It's a very nice drone, it's very well balanced for how it's been set up. A lot of drones tend to be very, very killer when it comes to being on foot. Yes, it has enough spread to make sure you can survive and at least run back to your base. Oh, there we go, I would have died there. Yes, now what we can do to end this video, because there isn't too much else to talk about, is of course, let's just spawn in a crap ton of these. Let's go and put them all around here. And there we go, we're now going to have a nice army. They might crash into each other, they might shoot each other a little bit. But there we go. Wow, that's quite a menacing sight right there. They are bumping into each other because they can't really detect a friendly. But they certainly can detect an enemy. Wow, look at them go. They're trying their best to shoot me. I'm doing really well there. Look at that red glow. I'm going to make it daytime once again. Look at all the bullets going around like that. I think what I'll do now is just fly around to here so they're forced to turn all the way around. There they go. And now I'm going to get into this junk crawler that I just whipped together at the weekend. And now we're just going to try and escape. There's all the drones. Wow, look at them. They're going to start shooting. They're going to try and track. I don't think they're going to be doing too well. They might just be attacking the corpse of the Dex fighter. No, they're not. They're going to start attacking this. I'm going to try and get away. Oh, they destroyed that. We're going to try and hide further inside here. They're going to shred it into little pieces. And then we can just hide behind all these conveyor pipes and hope to hell that I survive getting over to the cliff edge. There goes one of the wheels. I should not have used hinges on that. There goes that one. It's still driving forwards. There goes part of the area that I was standing on. There's all the drones that are just hovering around. They're like little bees, aren't they? They just come around and just be a little nuisance every now and again. But I don't think I've seen any of them fire their rocket launchers properly. I think one of them did at the land vehicle. They all seem very hell-bent on using their Gatling guns. But yes, that is basically it for the ESA Pavilion type attack drone. I thought it would be nice for something different. And yes, like we saw in this video, they are very good at destroying vehicles, very good at destroying ships if you're sitting still. But if you're moving around at high speed, oh wow, they're actually hitting me quite reliably now. Yes, if we're moving around at high speed, they're not too much of a threat. But for assaulting a base, for assaulting a large vehicle, they do make quite short work, especially if there's multiple of them. So there will be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with it yourself. I highly recommend you do because they are a lot of fun, especially if you spawn a couple of them to be a nuisance on a friend's base or a friend's vehicle. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.